Well, hi. You've just caught me reading my favorite book, Roadside Picnic. It's about Redrick Schuhart, who has to go into the zone to get strange objects that he can then sell for money. Aren't we lucky? Because in our own world, there's plenty of strange objects that you can do fun things with, so why don't I show you how to make one of those? Well, for those of you who have done this before, I'm sure you know that there's some precautions you have to take, but for those uninitiated of you, I'll explain it really quickly. Well, first off, you have to make sure that it isn't a full moon, and that might be a bit confusing because we are working with magic here, but that's kind of the point. You don't want the evil magic and frequencies to be enhanced by the moon, so new moon is best, but anything that isn't a full moon will do. The second thing is you're going to want like a shield. This cloth is a shield against cantodiemic static in specific, which you can find them online and like, you know, if you just Google it, or if you go to like a local flea market, they sell them a lot of the times. Yeah, this one was given to me by my grandma. Third, I put these sigils all around the apartment and the premises, just to kind of seal it off, to cordon it off and stuff. I can't really go into what they are because it's kind of complicated and it would be like a whole video in and of itself, but you know, if you just look for like sealing sigils or protective sigils or something, you'll find it. Google's at your fingertips. The fourth thing is, I got this guy. Yeah, so I think we can get into it. Alright, this is what we have basically. Okay, I'd heard a few witches and ghouls were setting up shop on the coastline to make some music from weird shit that kept washing up on shore. So of course I wanted to join, but I got delayed. When I got there, all I found was this wrecked shack and all this weird shit. Okay, so these are relatively common. I mean, where I was, I found a bunch of them laying around. But basically it's obsidian. What you can do with this, I modified this distortion pedal. It basically just gives out electricity now, or we can use it as a source of electricity at least. We can take these electrodes. I'll turn this on so the camera can actually see it. What we can do is this. Yeah, can you hear that? Basically, if you feed it electricity, it just gives out the steady pulse, which is like really useful for a lot of stuff. This is a bit too slow though, so I made it smaller. Now, I'll just hold it on with my hands. Yeah, you can see. The microphone keeps turning off. Yeah, it's so much better. It's so much quicker. So the smaller they are, the higher the frequency is somehow. Let me show you something you can do with this now. So, this is some twine. It's special in some sense, but I'll come back to that later. For now, you can just think of it as a connector. This is another thing I found. Just a wee barnacle. Just a little wee barnacle. As said, just think of this as a connector. For now, it's very jank, but there's better ways of connecting these items, but for now, it's fine. I'll put the microphone next to the barnacle. Okay, so yeah, now if we connect it, we get something like this. Do you hear that? Isn't that so cool? My god. It's so cool. Yeah, whatever. So, as you can see, some things need some sort of input to emit sound. But these seashells can emit their own sound. They say, if you listen real close, you can hear the sound of the ocean. Let me take a smaller shot of the obsidian, and this time I'll just place it inside. Oh, I mean, beautiful, right? If my microphone would stay on for a bit, you could see it, but you can hear it, so. And now let's look at this shell. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so this is what I was expecting to happen. Yeah, I don't think I'm even gonna do anything with this. I'll just keep it like that. So, this is something very interesting. As you can see, there's like two pieces of metal that I found in some old computer. And I mean, already when I fucking felt them, there was some pretty weird shit going on with them. The boat is just for decoration. Yeah. Yeah. And I forgot to show this before, but I also found this. Which is really cool because it's a self-contained piezo battery. As you see, there's a crystal attached to it. Basically like the obsidian. Yeah, it'll give us its own little piezoelectric charge. We're gonna need the jack cable again. I'm gonna take some twine again. This is not our electricity now, that's coming from the piezo crystal. It's just a connector so that we can actually hear the sound coming from the metal. It doesn't have to be pretty for now, it just has to work. So basically, I can just touch it to... Wait, here, you can see it. Really, really sick. I love this sound so much. I don't think we even need to do anything with this. Okay, I do want to use this as a demonstration for this twine, actually. So they're connectors, right? You can imbue them with a variety of, like, things. If you take, for instance, this, lavender. If I just take some of this, we just need the smoke from it. And then yes, so we basically imbued it with the lavender now. Let's see how it sounds. Oh my god, isn't that cool? Hope you can see that. It's completely washed out and almost like ghostly. Lavender is like one of my favorite things to use. Beautiful. Okay, this one is a bit complicated, so I found these in the same shack, and they look completely broken, but I think I can still squeeze something out. If we take this, this candle is not just here to wreck my exposure, by the way. Yes, this is held together by tape, but the tape is magical, don't worry about it. Okay, I don't have enough hands for this, but all I gotta do, flip this switch. Oh my god, it sounds so weird. It's completely broken, of course, but it does sound pretty good. This sounds insane. I don't even know what song this is either, but... Now for the actual charm, there's of course easier ways of doing this that are a bit more intricate though, so... For presenting this now is this is the best way. Let's turn this on. So weird.
Water, exhale, boom, radiation, detected, exit, flow, immediate.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay. That works. That worked beautifully. Hello, it's me again, in post. This took a lot longer than I thought it would. Basically, I don't know, this was a bigger project than I expected it to be overall, but, you know, whatever. No, I just wanted to give some progress on where the charms are, because I actually finished all of them. They are not connected right now. You can see that's the barnacle from the start of the video, and it's connected to an obsidian piece. As I said, none of them are, like, you know, linked up or anything, so there's no sound coming from right now. I think that's probably my favorite one. Look at it. It's so good. With the boat and the anchor, it works so well. And the anchor actually, I think, because it, like, probably was used, so it scraped against the bottom of the ocean a bunch and, like, got some static charge, and it actually has some power left in it, which means you can use it as its own power source. It's pretty cool. I don't know. But all the other ones, I'm also very happy with. Look at that one. That one's so cool. The shell I found had, like, a hole in it. It's very interesting. Oh yeah, that's the piezo crystal from the start. Weird stone, I don't know if I included that. These are all the samples. Oh, actually, no, this part is definitely my favorite. I hope you can see it well. But it's, this is basically going to be like the central hub of everything. I don't know, you can barely see it, but there's like obsidian crystals, a bunch of them, which I said regulate tempo really well. So what you can do is you can string them up in this sort of matrix. There's a central one regulating the whole piece, in some sense, right? And then all of these can kind of like trigger individual things and act as their own like little individual tempo machines. It's really cool. And it looks so good. That's always the most fun part, when the like functionality of them lines up with the actual like, you know, thing. I'm rambling, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing now it'll pan to the final product.
Bad